Hello and welcome to Victory Online Academy. This is Ibdp Math HL and SL session for analysis and approaches students. And in this session, we'll be solving paper 1 questions. These questions are taken from Think IB website, and all the questions are actually from past papers. Okay, so pay attention, and I'm solving the questions. If you do not understand any part or any step, I'll advise you to rewind it and watch again, and I hope you'll be able to understand the working and the process, and you'll be able to learn from this session. So without wasting time, let's quickly start. Okay, so this is question number 1. It says find all exact solutions to the equation 2 sine square x plus 3 cos x is equal to 0 for the interval 0 to 2 pi. So we have to find out all the solutions for 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so this is very important, the domain. Now it says 2 sine square plus 3 cos x is equal to 0. And this is very important point, exact. Okay, so we don't have to round off any value, we don't have to write in decimal form, we will just leave the answer in terms of pi. So 2 sine square x plus 3 cos x is equal to 0. As these are two different trigonometric ratios, we can easily convert sine square x into cos square x. As we know, sine square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. So we can write that sine square x is equal to 1 minus cos square x. Okay, so just substitute sine square x as 1 minus cos square x plus 3 cos x is equal to 0. You will see that you will find a quadratic in terms of cos. So 2 minus 2 cos square x plus 3 cos x is equal to 0. Okay, so if you arrange it properly, you will find minus 2 cos square x plus 3 cos x plus 2 equals 0, right? So as you can see, this is a quadratic in terms of cos. To make you clearly visible that it is a quadratic function in terms of cos, we can assume that let cos x is equal to t. Okay, so let's assume cos x is t, so you will get minus 2 t square plus 3t plus 2 equals 0, right? Now we can solve it using factorization method or quadratic formula method, any method you can use, and you can solve this. I can see that it is easily solvable using factorization method. So we will multiply minus 2 to 2, we'll get minus 4, right? This to this. Okay, um, so minus 4, and minus 4 we can take, we have to take the factor which has addition gives you 3. So if we can write minus 4 1 4 and minus 1, many factors possible like minus 2 and 2, but we will take that factor whose addition gives the middle term. This is the method of splitting of middle term method. So 4 and minus 1, so we can write as minus 2t square. 3t we can write as plus 4t minus 1t plus 2 equals 0, and here we can take minus 2t common, so you will get 2t minus no, if you take minus 2t common, you will get t minus 2. Okay, and from here if you take minus 1 common, you will get t minus 2 equals 0. Now t minus 2, t minus 2, again you can take common t minus 2, so you'll get minus 2t minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so from here you will get two values, t is equal to 2 or minus 2t minus 1 is equal to 0, minus 2t equals to 1, t is equal to minus 1 over 2. So you got two values of t, which gives you, we can write it like this, as t was cos x. So we can write cos x is equal to 2, but it is not possible. The range of the cos x is lies between minus 1 to 1. So cos x can never be equal to 2. So this is not possible. So we can write cos x is equal to 2, and here we can write not possible. Okay, so we'll leave it, and here we'll get cos x is equal to negative 1 over 2. And cos is negative in which quadrants? In the last session I explained to you that cos is negative in second and the third quadrant, right? We know ASTC rule. So this is for all positive, sine positive, tan positive, cos positive. So all means here the cos is also positive in the first, these are the quadrants, right? First, second, third, fourth. So all positive means cos is also positive in first and the fourth, but it is negative in second and the third, right? Second and the third. So your answer is going to be in the second and the third quadrant. So there are two ways by which we can solve this question. One is unit circle method. So let's quickly do it by unit circle method. If it is cos theta, cos x is equal to minus 1 over 2, and x is cos theta, we can write x is equal to negative 1 over 2. What x represents here? That I explained to you in the unit circle method. So x is cos theta, y is sin theta. So x is equal to minus 1 over 2. So we can sketch the line x is equal to minus 1 over 2. This is somewhere here, and this is intersecting at 2 points, so we will join it with the origin. Okay, and so these are your solutions. So this is your solution. Let me use the black color. So this is your solution, and this is the solution in the second and the third quadrant. Okay, so in the second quadrant, and the third quadrant, we will get the answer. So we know a cos gives you 1 over 2. At what angle? At what angle we get cos as 1 over 2? Um, it's a standard table, you need to remember, and cos 1 over 2 you get at 60 degrees. That's pi by 3, pi over 3. Right. So from here we know that this is going to be pi over 3, this angle. Okay, because you get cos as 1 over 2 at pi by 3, that is 60 degrees. So it means if this is pi over 3, we want the angle from this green one, we want this particular angle. Okay, we want this particular angle in the second quadrant, and if this is pi over 3, so the answer you get as pi minus pi over 3. Okay, so that is 2 pi over 3. That's the first answer. And the next answer we will get if you solve till here. So if this is pi over 3, this will be pi over 3 as well, because they are symmetrical. So the next answer will be pi plus pi over 3, which will give you 4 pi over 3. Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, now there is another way to solve this, right? The another way to solve this is, if you have watched my previous lesson, cos theta is equal to cos alpha. If we can write it like that, cos theta is equal to cos alpha, then theta is equal to 2n pi plus minus alpha is your solution. Okay, so cos x is equal to minus 1 over 2. If this is we need to solve, we can write it cos x is equal to minus of cos pi over 3, right? Okay, this is the way, like 1 over 2 is cos pi by 3. I'm teaching you another method to solve. One is this method, what that's unit circle method. The other method can be written as, so cos x is equal to minus cos pi by 3. Um, so as it is negative, we can write as cos x is equal to cos pi minus pi over 3. Okay, because cos pi minus theta is negative cos theta. So here you will get cos x is equal to cos 2 pi over 3. So we can use this cos theta is equal to cos alpha. It means theta is equal to 2 and pi plus minus alpha. So from here you get 2 and pi plus minus 2 pi over 3. Okay, so here if you substitute 0, if you substitute 0 here, so you will get plus minus 2 pi by 3. So plus minus 2 pi by 3. We cannot take negative, so one answer has to be 2 pi over 3. The other answer we'll get when we substitute n is equal to 1. So if you substitute n is equal to 1, you will get 2 pi plus 2 pi by 3 or 2 pi minus 2 pi by 3. Okay? So when you substitute n is equal to 1 over there here, because that's our solution, and depending on the different values of n, like n is an integer over here, so depending on different integers you'll get different solutions. Okay, so this is a kind of general solution we got. Okay, so you just need to substitute different values of n to get different solutions. So when you substitute n is equal to 1, you will get 2 pi plus minus 2 pi by 3. So one answer will be 2 pi plus 2 pi by 3, which will go beyond the domain, which is we want between 0 and 2 pi. So the other answer will be 2 pi minus 2 pi over 3. Okay, which will give you, if you simplify this, so 6 pi minus 2 pi is 4 pi over 3. So 4 pi over 3 and 2 pi over 3, that's what we got before. So that's our answer. So this is another way to solve. Sometimes this method is very easy, like you can get the answer in a short time. Sometimes it is lengthy. So I taught you both the methods. Do rewatch it if you do not understand any step. Okay, let's move on to the question number 2. So the diagram shows a circle with center O and radius OA is equal to 2 centimeter. The central angle AOB has a measure of 5 pi over 6 radians. Find the exact area of the shaded region. So we need to find out this particular area. Okay, so this particular area we can easily find out if we see, this whole is a sector. Okay, so I'll shade it with red, the sector. This whole thing is a sector, and we know the formula of area of sector. Area of sector is half r square theta, where theta is in radians, which is already given 5 pi over 6. And this is a triangle, right? If we subtract area of triangle from the sector, area of triangle in terms of sides and the angle is half AB sine C. A and B are the sides, and C is, like, here we can write sine O. So if we subtract, if we want the exact shaded area, so shaded area, I'm going to just substitute the value now. So half r square, r is 2 square into theta is 5 pi over 6 minus half into AB. A is 2, it means these two sides are 2 and 2 into sine O. It's not 0, okay? It's sine O, or you can write AOB. for clarity. So sine of theta is 5 pi over 6. Okay, so this is the formula. You just need to simplify now. So you can write as half into 2 square common, which is pi by 6 minus sine pi by 6. Now sine 5 pi by 6. Okay, this gets cancelled, so you'll get 2 5 pi over 6 minus sine 5 pi over 6. Now sine 5 pi over 6 you can write as sine pi minus pi over 6. Okay, so 2 5 pi over 6 minus sine pi minus pi by 6 is sine pi by 6. Okay, like sine pi minus theta is sine theta. So it's sine pi over 6 and sine pi over 6 is 1 over 2. Okay, so we just put the value. You can multiply this, you will get 5 pi over 3 minus 1. That's our answer. Okay, because 2 gets, if you multiply 2 with both the terms, you get 5 pi over 3 minus 1. Okay, so that's the solution of question number 2. Now let's move to question number 3. So it is asking domain, range, period and amplitude of for each function. Okay, so let's find out the domain. It's a cos function, 3 cos 2x plus pi over 2. So this talks about the shift. So this shift by pi over 2 towards left. This talks about the amplitude. Okay, this talks about the period. So I'll write the general form. Y is equal to a cos b x plus c plus d. Okay, now this is the general form. A is the amplitude, b helps in finding the period. Okay, so period of this function, period will be 2 pi over b, because generally the period is 2 pi, but for this, as is it's multiplied by b, so the period will be 2 pi over b. C is the horizontal shift. C is horizontal shift. So if C is greater than 0, so it will shift leftwards by C units. Okay, and C less than 0, so rightwards shift by C units. And D is the vertical shift, means y-axis. If D is positive, it moves upwards, and if D is negative, it moves downwards. So this is the thing you need to remember. Now in this particular question, 3 cos 2x plus pi over 2, cos function, it can take all values. Okay, there is no value where cos is not defined. So domain will be all real numbers, or you can write minus infinity to infinity. So that's the domain. You can write x belongs to, because we say x, domain is x. Range, see generally cos goes from minus 1 to 1, but as it is multiplied by 3 cos, so amplitude will shift 3 upwards and 3 downwards. So it will, the range will become, instead of minus 1 to 1, it will become minus 3 to 3. Okay, so range is minus 3 to 3. Or you can also write y belongs to minus 3 to 3. Period. Now, as I explained you, the period is whatever is multiplied by multiple with x, that we need to divide here. Generally the period is 2 pi, but for this it is multiplied with 2. So the period will become 2 pi over 2, which is pi. So period is pi radians. That means 180 degree. And what is the amplitude? Amplitude is 3. Now in this particular question, let's write in proper form. So x over 4 plus 2. Okay, so what is the domain? What is the domain? Is there any value where this sine function does not exist? Of course, no value. There is no value on which sine function does not exist. So domain is all real numbers. Okay. Our range. Now generally sine range is -1 to 1, but in this case it is minus sine x over 4. It means the graph will shift um, its sign instead of going up. Instead of sine graph is like this, okay, but minus sine graph will be like this. And this is a graph, and it will shift upwards by 2 units. So generally the sine range is -1 to 1. Here, as we are adding +2, so the range will become -1, because the lowest value of this minus sine x over 4 is -1. So -1 plus 2 will give you 1, and and plus 1, because that's the highest value, plus 2 is 3. So 1 to 3 is your range. Okay, this negative sign only affects that it just shift the graph. Otherwise the range for sin x over 4 plus 2 or minus sin x over 4 plus 2, both will be the same. It's like sin x range is -1 to 1, or minus sin x range is also -1 to 1. So that's the range 1 to 3. Period. Now as I told you that whatever be the multiple with x, we divide by that. So multiple is 1 over 4. So we'll divide by 2 pi over 1 over 4 will give you 2 pi multiply 4 is 8 pi. So the period is 8 pi radians. What is the amplitude? So amplitude is always the multiple with the function. So here the function is sine. So amplitude is this, and negative sign just invert it. So that's why the amplitude will be 1. Write down the domain and range and period of gx is equal to tan x over 3. So domain, is there any x value where which tan x does not exist? There is the x value. What happens that gx you can write as sin x over 3 over cos x over 3, right? So wherever this cos function gives you 0, those values the function will not exist. Okay, so we need to just subtract those values where the cos x over 3 becomes 0. Okay, so just solve this. Cos x over 3 equals 0. Let's assume, let's find out where it gives 0. So cos x over 3 equals to 0. It will give you at cos pi over 2. This is the first value. So we can write this as x over 3 equals to 2 and pi plus minus pi over 2, which will give you, this is like cos theta is equal to cos alpha. Okay, here I explained cos theta is equal to cos alpha, so theta is equal to 2 and pi plus minus alpha. So for this question we can apply that formula. So x over 3 is 2 and pi plus minus pi by 2. So x is equal to 6 and pi, 3 gets multiplied, 6 and pi plus minus 3 pi over 2. Okay, so this is what we got. So at these particular values of x, we need to avoid these particular values of x. Otherwise we can take any value, which is any other value except these values. So domain will be all real numbers minus 6 and pi plus minus 3 pi over 2. So we cannot take these values where n belongs to z, n belongs to integer. Except these values, we can take all the values. That's the domain of this function. Range, tan range is always minus infinity to infinity. That's why the range of this function will be again y belongs to minus infinity to infinity, or all real numbers. Okay, period. Now period, generally period is pi, but here as it is divided by 1 over 3, so the period is pi divided by 1 over 3, which will give you pi multiplied 3, which is 3 pi. The period will be 3 pi radians. Now the next question is, the curve shown below has an equation y is equal to a sine b x plus c plus d. I wrote it above in terms of cos. The curve passes through these points, pi over 4, 1. Okay, write down the values of a, b, c, and d. So a is the amplitude. Okay, so a is the amplitude. Amplitude is the from the axis. It is the value of the function. So from the axis, we don't know the axis yet. Okay, we don't know what is d here, but what we can say that its maximum value is 1, minimum value is minus 3. Okay, so amplitude is it will give you maximum value minus of minimum value divided by 2. Okay, so 1 minus of minus 3 divided by 2. So 1 plus 3 divided by 2 will give you 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Now amplitude we can find as max value minus minimum value. Y value here I am talking about divided by 2. So here is 2. B B will help you to find out the period. So as you can see here, maximum value you are getting at pi over 4, minimum value. Okay, so here it is at pi over 4, and again it is going till 9 pi over 4. So one complete oscillation, it is starting from pi over 4 and goes to 9 pi over 4. So the period of this function is 9 pi over 4 minus pi over 4, which will give you 8 pi over 4, which is 2 pi. So the period of this function is 2 pi. Okay, and we know the formula period is also equals to 2 pi by b. So 2 pi equals to 2 pi over b, which will give you b is equal to 1. So b is 1. C is the horizontal shift. Okay, so it's a sine function. It's a sine function, and generally this curve passes through 0. Okay, but now you are getting 0 at this particular value. So mm, it's been shifted towards left. Okay, and here we are getting pi over 4. Generally we get 1 at pi over 2. Okay, generally we get 1 at pi over 2, but now we are getting 1 at pi over 4. So how much shift is there? So how much horizontal shift is there? So generally we get pi over 2, we get 1. Now we are getting 1 at pi over 4. So um, horizontal shift is simply pi over 4, right? Because pi over 2 minus pi over 4 is pi over 4. So here we get pi over 4. It's pi over 2 minus pi over 4. D is the vertical shift. Generally, the axis is x-axis, but now the axis we don't know. But the reason to find out the axis that will give you the vertical shift. The formula is max value plus min value divided by 2. So maximum value is 1 minus 3 divided by min value is minus 3 divided by 2 minus 2 over minus 2, which will give you minus 1. So D is minus 1. That's the vertical shift. Question number 6. Find all exact solutions to the equation sine square x is equal to 3 over 4. So from here we'll get sin x is equal to plus minus root 3 over 2. So sin x is equal to root 3 over 2, or sin x is equal to minus root 3 over 2. Minus root 3 over 2. Okay. So sin x is equal to root 3 over 2. This will give you answer in the first and the second quadrant. So root 3 over 2 you get at pi by 3. So one answer is pi over 3, another answer is pi minus pi over 3, which is 2 pi over 3. Sin x is equal to minus root 3 over 2, that you will get in the third quadrant, which is x plus pi plus pi over 3, and the other answer you will get 2 pi minus pi over 3. So that's 4 pi over 3, and here you will get 5 pi over 3. So these are the answers. Simple. Okay, let's move to next question. Cos beta is equal to minus 2 over 5. This is 0 to pi. Find the exact values of the following. Sin beta. If cos beta is negative between 0 to pi, so it has to be in the second quadrant. Okay, beta has to be second quadrant because first quadrant cos is positive. So we know that in second quadrant sin is positive. We can write as sin square beta is equal to 1 minus cos square beta. So 1 minus minus 2 over 5 whole square, which will give you 1 minus 4 over 25, which will give you 19 over 25. So sine beta, you will get plus minus root 19 over 5. But as it is lying in the second quadrant, sine has to be positive. So this is the answer. Now tan beta, we can say sine beta over cos beta. So sine beta is root 19 over 25 divided by, sorry, it has to be 5, okay? Because, so root 19 over 5, and the other answer is minus 2 over 5. So if you simplify this, 5 gets cancelled out, you will get root 19 over 2 minus 2, which is minus root 19 over 2. Now it says cosec 2 beta. So cosec 2 beta is 1 over sine 2 beta. You can do it like this, or there is another way. I'll explain you later. Let's solve by this method. So 1 over sine 2 beta. Sine 2 beta. Let's solve sine 2 beta first, which is 2 sine beta cos beta. So which will give you 2 multiply sine is root 19 over 5, cos beta is minus 2 over 5. So which will give you minus 4 root 19 over 25. So cosec 2 beta will be 1 over sine 2 beta. If you take the reciprocal, you will get 25 over minus 4 root 19. This is minus 25 over 4 root 19. That's the answer. There's another way to do this. Cosec squared 2 beta. So we know that 1 plus cot square 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta. Okay, so first to apply this formula, 1 plus cot square 2 theta is equal to cosec square 2 theta. I think that will be very lengthy. For that you need to find out cot 2 beta. That will be lengthy. So I think that's the only method which is very simple method. You can do it by this method as well, but that will be very lengthy method. Okay, so that's the end of these questions would be solved. Thanks for watching. For topic continuation, do watch our next video and do register for free demo session on our website. And if you have not followed on Instagram, do just go and follow on Instagram, Victory Online Academy account and Victory Ibdp account. We do upload content, videos, infographics every day, so that will be very helpful for you. Do share with your friends and ask them to follow our Instagram account and Facebook page. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.